Tell me if this sounds familiar. You're going through your day and you stumble upon some to-do you just need to fix. And we're gonna call this one task number 1. So you just want to solve it straight away, right? And as you go to do that, you realize, oh no, there's another task number 2, that I want to fix before I go to task number 1. As you keep going through this process, there's another task number 3. Now you got 3 things going on, and this is how we go through our daily lives, just constantly distracted. Now you stumble upon task number 4. So you think you might as well just solve it now and get it done. But of course, life gets in the way. And then you're reminded of task number 1. Can you replace the light bulb in the kitchen? And you say, what does it look like I'm doing? We've all been there, we all get overwhelmed by the number of tasks that we have to go through. So what is the solution? What's worked for me is having a reliable way to have all of my tasks in one place so that I can visualize them and I can prioritize them in the right order. That way I can take action in the most efficient way possible. And the first step in this process is determining what is the right app that works for your exact needs as well as for the way that you think. Now for this video I wanted to give you a solid understanding of each app. So with my great intellect, ChatGPT, I came up with a math equation that considers all of the most important factors in order of each app to give us a final score so that we can rank them. That way you'll see which are the apps that I recommend the most and which are the ones that perhaps I would even avoid. But beyond that final score, because your needs are unique to your particular case, I also break down each app so that you can see its individual strengths and weaknesses in different areas. So by the end of this video, you'll finally have the clarity to know what is the app that works best for you for your task management system. The apps on this video are ones that I've personally tested for my own use for extended period of time through the years, and I've been immersed in this whole world of productivity tools because for the last 3 years, it's been my full-time job to teach people how to use productivity apps here in YouTube. This is definitely the video of which existed years ago when I was getting started on task management, so I truly hope you find this helpful. And once you feel ready to build your ideal workflow in your app of choice, you can find a free form in the description where I'm offering free personalized advice according to your specific needs so that you can quickly have a productivity system that helps you achieve the meaningful work that matters most to you. I'm offering this personalized advice for a limited amount of time, so do check out the description for more info on that if that sounds interesting to you. Now with that said, let's jump into ranking different apps and we're gonna start with Notion. Alright, so here we are and we're gonna be rating Notion for its ability to manage tasks. So it is important that I say this about Notion because Notion can do a lot more and it is a good app for a bunch of other things. When it comes to features, like I said, Notion, it is quite powerful in general, but for the purpose of managing tasks, I would say it lies around here. This would be like a 6 out of 10. Features really means how advanced the app is. Now for the next one, user experience, I would describe as a 10 out of 10 would be an app that is extremely fast, it always works as you expected. It's super reliable, whereas putting it here would mean it always fails, is slow. Now again, Notion for the purpose of task management, I would say is around a 4, just because there's a lot of maintenance. If you're gonna have a system in here, it is quite a manual process. The next one is design. I use this term to describe how good the app looks. This is obviously my opinion, but for me, Notion is at around here, which is a 6 out of 10. Mobile friendliness means how good the mobile apps are. So Notion does have a mobile app. It's decent, but it's not the fastest and it's not the easiest place to really write things down on the go. Now collaboration is just the features. How much can you collaborate? If you do have a team, you definitely need one that ranks really high in collaboration. Notion does have some collaboration features and they're pretty decent, so I would rate it around there, which is a 7 out of 10. This next one is something that I'm calling Unity. This is task plus notes. Now what I mean by this is that if it ranks all the way here, it means that it is a really nice place where you can keep both track of your tasks as well as your whole note-taking system. And if it ranks low in that area, I would describe it as an app that is really only designed for tasks. So Notion is mainly a note-taking tool. So for this reason, Notion does have a bit of what I call Unity, but in my opinion, still not the best experience compared to some of the other apps that I'll show you. So I'll rank it around there, a 7 out of 10. Now, easy to learn, Notion does rank closer to the side of hard to learn, especially when we talk about task management, because you're gonna have to build the whole system from scratch, because Notion really isn't a task manager. It's more of a note-taking app that tries to be an all-in-one, and it does technically let you manage tasks. So that is why learning that part of the process is a little bit tricky. So this is my rating for Notion in all the different areas. Now how I would rank it as a total score, Notion to me lies at a 5.5. So there you go, that's how I rank Notion. Let's move to the next app, which is Todoist. It's a super popular one that I think falls a bit on the simpler side, and in the past I've definitely felt limited by its features. On the plus side though, the user experience is definitely good. It is a simple app, it is very intuitive and it just works, it is fast. Designs wise, it also does look really good. Mobile friendly is one of the biggest advantages because it does have really good mobile apps. Very responsive, very fast, very complete. Collaborations, it does have some features where you maybe can collaborate with your partner or a friend or something like that, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for managing a team or even for more professional work with an assistant. Now, when it comes to notes, inside of Todoist is not really made for that. You can write some notes inside of your task, but it's really not thought out that way, and that's okay. Like, it's a simple app used for your to-dos, is literally in the name, so that's fair enough. And it's a fairly simple app to learn, so that's always a pro. So my overall rating for Todoist is a 6 out of 10, and I wouldn't really recommend Todoist given that there is another one that has all of its pros but is overall better, and that one is TickTick. It's better than Todoist in the aspect that it has more features. The user experience, in my opinion, is a little bit better than the one of Todoist, which you can compare here. Design, I'll grant it to Todoist that one is a bit better on design. The mobile apps are also great, just as Todoist, so that is a tie for both of them. Another tie is collaboration, same thing as Todoist. You can collaborate a little bit here and there, but it's not really designed for that. And then TickTick has thought about the ability to add notes to your tasks. And then because it's a bit more advanced than Todoist, it is a little bit lower in the easy to learn spectrum compared to Todoist. So it's right there. So this is what TickTick looks like. My overall rating for TickTick is a 7.5 out of 10. You can't go wrong with it, definitely recommend it. So this next one is Obsidian plus I'm Done. Now, Obsidian is a note-taking app, and I'm Done is a task manager that reads files in a folder, and that's really all that Obsidian is. And the whole point of this system is that you can use tasks and notes combined, which is why I'm gonna rank it quite higher in that aspect. This is really nice, it's a super good workflow, and this combination of apps works better than any plugin that you will be able to find in Obsidian itself. Now, this is a super powerful workflow. The features of it, I think, are incredible. The user experience, once you set it up, it's incredible as well. I really enjoy this. You do need to set things up, which makes the ease of learning a little bit on the lower side. But you get past the setup, and then from there on is a super nice experience. Now, when it comes to design, I really like the way Obsidian looks, so I would rank Obsidian quite high. And I'm Done, it's not like it's ugly, I actually still like it, but we're gonna meet somewhere in the middle. So this is an incredible setup, but unfortunately do have some bad news, and that is the fact that it's not very mobile friendly. Obsidian does have a really good mobile app, but because I'm Done doesn't, means that it's somewhat mobile friendly. And then the final thing in here that we have left is collaboration, which unfortunately it is just not made for collaboration. So my overall rating for Obsidian plus I'm Done, it's a 6.5 out of 10. If you already use Obsidian and you've been wanting to figure out a way to manage all of your tasks, this is the absolute best way. So if you're interested to learn more about this, definitely let me know in the comments. Now, while we're at it, if you want to use another tool that is excellent for combining your tasks and notes, that one is Tana, because that also ranks amazing in that area. I'm gonna be rating Tana in a similar way that I did with Notion, which is considering how good it is for tasks specifically. So feature-wise, it's really nice, pretty advanced. The user experience is also pretty nice. Design-wise, I really like it. Now, at the moment of recording this, unfortunately, it's not very mobile friendly. It does have an app called Tana Capture where you can send quick notes from your phone. Collaboration, they definitely thought about this feature, so that's pretty cool. So that's how I would rate it. Overall, all things considered, I would rate Tana for the purpose of task management a 7 out of 10. Now we're only down to our last two apps, and this next one is one that you probably haven't heard about. It's called Amazing Marvin, and is definitely one of the most underrated ones because its features are incredible. Super advanced features that you can really use to customize your workflow to however you want it. The user experience as well is really nice. The design I also really like. There's definitely a lot of thought put into it, so that's really cool. It is very mobile friendly as well. Now the only con that it has compared to, like, let's say TickTick, is that it does fall short in collaboration, where it has one feature that allows you to share a task, but you can't really invite members to your workspace. So it's really not thought out to be a place to collaborate. So if you do want a personal tool, this one is excellent. But if you do need to collaborate, that's definitely one of the shortcomings. I really hope they can work on this. It's really not a note-taking app, but it does have some ability to add some notes to your tasks. So it's nothing special. Definitely wouldn't recommend to keep all of your notes here, but it still is better than Todoist in this area, but just not as good as TickTick. It is actually a 7 out of 10 in this area. It is relatively easy, so my overall rating for Amazing Marvin is an 8 out of 10. It's an excellent choice. Compared to TickTick, I really think it's just a matter of preference. There's one more tool, this one is last, but definitely not least, and this one is Asana. It's a tool that's been around for ages, and its main purpose is really for collaboration, but you'll be surprised at how well it works overall because its features are pretty advanced. The user experience, just as good as Amazing Marvin, is very responsive, very fast, very intuitive. I also really like its design. It is very mobile friendly. The only reason why I don't rank this one even higher is just because there's certain things that you can only do from the desktop app. And even though it's not a note-taking app, it definitely has the ability to manage a lot of your notes and ideas. So as you can see, this one ranks incredibly high in everything. It does take a little bit of a learning curve. If you haven't guessed it already, this is today's winner with 8.5 out of 10. Asana is a super solid choice. Great, so as a quick recap, Asana would be my top recommendation, especially if you need those collaboration features. Otherwise, if you only want to manage your personal tasks, then Amazing Marvin or TickTick are both great choices depending on your preference. On the other hand, if you really want to combine your notes and your tasks, then Tana or Obsidian with the use of I'm Done are really great options. Like I mentioned before, I would avoid Notion just because when I built my task management system in Notion in the past, I found there was too much complexity and I spent too much time trying to improve the system instead of getting work done. And then when it comes to Todoist, TickTick is really so similar, where at the moment TickTick just has better features, for instance more advanced filtered lists, as well as a better calendar view. So at the moment I really would just stick to TickTick instead of Todoist. There you go, so that's the breakdown. I really hope it helps you make a decision on which is the best tool for you. And like I said at the beginning, if you're ready to take your productivity workflow to the next level, then check out the form in the description that is available for a limited time. In there you can just answer a couple of quick questions that is going to give me a bit of context of what you want to achieve, and I'll break down the advice that I would recommend so that you can develop your ideal productivity workflow. So if that sounds cool, check that out and I'll get back to you there soon. Talk soon, bye! See you there.